So meditation, it's not what a lot of people think it is. You don't have to empty your mind. You don't have to sit in a lotus position for hours in a row, perfectly in that pose. You don't have to feel peaceful every single second. You don't have to be good at it. Meditation is about just being, not forcing yourself into silence. It's about noticing what's already there inside of you. It's about being with yourself, being in a moment. If you're too busy, even if you feel restless, maybe you thought before, I cannot meditate, my mind is racing too much, or my mind is too busy. But that's like saying, I cannot have a shower because I'm too dirty. Eventually, you're gonna have to start meditating to calm down your mind. Look at this perspective. I grew up surfing, and surfing can be a meditative practice. The rhythm, the motion, focusing on a present moment, and the connection with nature. This can all contribute to a meditative state. By sitting there, hours and hours staring at the ocean, I came to one understanding, something powerful about my mind. How is my mind acting on a day-to-day basis? Our minds are like the ocean. They're vast, they're complicated, they're deep, constantly moving. They never stop. There's always a swell, there's always a current. And our thoughts, they're like the waves. Some days, the sea is calm. Some days, the wind picks up and the waves just come crashing down. The currents pick up. The wind is blowing everything all over the place. Sometimes dangerous, completely offhand. And so as the nature of the mind. Some days your mind is still and calm, and some days your mind is stormy and reactive. As surfers, we stand out there at the edge watching. And that spot, the spot is called the lineup. We're observing, we're waiting for that opportunity. Not every wave is worth riding. In fact, most of them are not. Some are small, some are scattered, some are too powerful, some are just close-ups. The problem is, if you paddle for every single wave, you waste your energy. So you have to use your judgment, very careful, to pick that right wave. That wave that will give you the best ride. So we sit and we observe, letting the bad waves go by, and we wait for that perfect one that matches our skill level. The same goes for meditation. Most thoughts are helpful. They rise, they crest, and they fall, pulling us in if we're not careful. And again, you don't have to chase all of your thoughts. You don't have to judge them. All you have to do is observe them. So imagine this. You're laying in your bed, staring at the ceiling, and you're feeling the warmth of your bed, the sheets, how soft they are in your skin. And you're grateful for being there, for having a bed to sleep tonight. And you realize, I'm so comfy here. I feel so good. My breath is slowing down. I'm going to sleep soon. That is meditation. Or you're sitting at the park, for example, and you're looking at the trees, how beautiful they are, the wind, swinging them left and right, and without trying to judge nothing, just observing. Your thoughts start invading your head, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna grab into my thoughts. I'm not going to engage in these thoughts, and you let your thoughts go. That is meditation. Or you're washing dishes at home, and you feel the warm water in your hands. You feel the soap, the texture of the plates. You're completely focused in this moment, this one moment. And you feel how you feel inside for doing this. Are you feeling overworked? Are you feeling good for doing dishes? But you're present in this moment and you're aware of your emotions and what is going on in this precise moment. This is meditation. So meditation is nothing but this, but being present and aware of your feelings, your emotions, your surroundings, the textures, the sounds, whatever invades your senses, and being present in this moment. And whenever you have a thought that it does not belong to this moment, you don't judge it and you don't engage with it. You just let it be, and eventually that thought will go away. That is meditation. So now take a look at this. You're lying in bed before you sleep. Your mind is racing. You're thinking about conversations, worrying about tomorrow, planning random things. You don't even notice how comfortable you are. You're just stressed out about tomorrow and you cannot stop thinking. This is not meditation. Or you're sitting at the park. Instead of noticing the trees or just relaxing, you're scrolling on your phone, you're checking notifications, you're text-messaging friends, you're watching YouTube. That is not meditation. Or, for example, you're washing dishes and your body is moving automatically, but your mind is arguing about the past. You're engaging in these thoughts that don't matter, and you're just stressed out about life. You can't wait to finish these dishes and just go watch your TV. That is not meditation. So now you're going to tell me, no. What about sitting in a mountain, cross-legged, closing your eyes for hours, like the monks do? Well, that is a practice. That is meditation practice. Meditation is a state. And this is what people sometimes get confused, because there's meditation practice and meditation as a state of mind.
Before there was even a word for it, before religion were born, before we carved gods into stone, humans were already sitting still, eyes closed, and listening inward. But the practice of itself, it's much older than Latin, older than Rome, older than writing. In ancient India, over 3,000 years ago, Vedic sages sat in silence, chanting mantras, watching their breath, trying to connect with something infinite. The Buddha came later, around 500 BCE, sitting beneath a tree in search of freedom from suffering. At the same time, in China, the Taoists, the mystics, were meditating in the mountains, breathing with the wind, becoming one with the Tao. And across time, Christian monks in the deserts and Greek philosophers in stone courtyards all discovered that the real journey isn't out there, it's inward. Meditation isn't new. We are new to meditation.
The state of meditation can happen by accident, like you're fully present and you're not even trying. But practicing meditation makes these moments more frequent, more natural. Why? Because with regular practice, your brain physically changes. It builds new neural connections that strengthens your focus, your awareness, and your emotional stability. This process is called neuroplasticity. Means that your brain is literally rewiring itself to make presence and calmness your new default state. Studies using MRI scans show that regular meditation strengthens the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain that is responsible for focus, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Practicing meditation intentionally, it's like training a muscle. Without regular practice, your mind keeps falling into distraction, into stress, into reactivity. Meditation builds awareness and thus the strength to stay calm, focused and resilient, even when life gets hard. Gives you more time to respond to those impulsive thoughts that come lingering in your mind. At the same time, it positively impacts the amygdala, the brain fear and stress center, making it less reactive. It's not just about feeling good and calmer and sharper and more resilient. It's about physically training your mind to live a better life. So far we covered how important is meditation, the origins of meditation, and the things that do to your brain, all those changes, all those benefits from meditation. So now I want to tell you about the different types of meditation practices. Me, personally, I do a lot of mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is one of the most available and easy ways of meditating. Every morning, I wake up and I come here on my cushion and I meditate for 10, 15 minutes, depending on my schedule. I don't want there to be stressed about what's coming. Depending on my schedule, on my day, I set my timer. So to do mindful meditation, all you need is to find a place that is safe and that you find yourself comfortable, and then you can practice it. It doesn't matter what time of the day, it doesn't matter where. All it matters is consistency and practice. This is the most important thing, is consistency. Exactly as like a person that goes to the gym, if you only go once a week, you're gonna have a certain type of benefits. But if you go 3 times a week, 4 times a week, you're gonna accelerate your benefits. You're gonna accelerate the process and get those returns faster. So going back to mindfulness meditation, all you need is to sit down or lay down and just close your eyes. You can do it with your eyes open too, as long as you focus on just one spot. And you look through the spot. You don't look at the spot. You focus in one spot and you look through the spot. But I do it with my eyes closed. I find that it's easier for me to focus because I have less distractions. So what you do, you sit comfortably. I do it in my little seat here, on my little cushion. Before, I used to do it on a chair because I'm not too flexible. And after I found my cushion, I found the perfect height for my flexibility, and it's very comfortable. So if you want to do it in a chair, if it's comfortable for you, do it. They usually say that doing it in the mornings and doing it at night, those are the most beneficial times of the day to meditate. But I find myself so many times sitting on my car before I go to a meeting, or sitting at the grocery store waiting for my partner to come or something. All those little meditations are so important for me too. Those are all extras, I call it. They're not part of my schedule meditation, they're just extras.
Here we go. You are ready to practice mindfulness meditation. You set your alarm. You make sure you move everything you want to move, because from now on the goal is to be still and relaxed. You make sure your back is straight, your head is leveled, looking forward, and your chin is not tilted back. With your eyes closed, you want to look into a space between your eyebrows. Your hands can be in a comfortable position. You can choose one of these positions. So you're all set. Now you focus in your breathing. You want to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And you keep repeating this process. And all of a sudden, a thought comes in. It's your cat, that beautiful kitty. And you realize, oh no, I'm meditating, so I'm gonna have to let this thought go and go back to my focus point. So you focus in your breath again, and you keep breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You repeat the process until the timer runs out. After the alarm goes off, take your time to ease out of your trance. And then slowly open your eyes, and you're good to go.
So now that we covered mindfulness meditation, let's look into other practices. Salud. So there's a lot of meditation practices out there. I cannot cover them all today, but I want to go over some of the most common ones. For example, you can practice mantra meditation. It's about repeating a word or a phrase over and over again. Sometimes a sound, sometimes just a mantra. Sometimes it's just a matter of repeating a thought in your head. The repetition makes it feel like you are in a Zen moment. It calms you down. It makes you gravitate inward. Then there's body scan meditation. This type of meditation, it's about bringing gentle awareness to each part of your body. It's common to start at your toes, laying down in bed or on the ground, but you can do it sitting as well. And move from your toes upwards to the body parts. You're not trying to change how anything feels. You're just noticing, listening to the body with kindness and respect, with curiosity, letting go of judgment. If you have any pains or aches, acknowledge them. Another type of practice is visualization. This practice is where you can travel wherever you want with your mind, as far as the end of the universe. You close your eyes and you imagine yourself calm. You can be in a forest, you can be in the ocean, you can be on a mountain, you can be at sunrise, whatever you want to imagine. You can picture light, warmth. You can picture a dream life. I do this all the time, trying to manifest my dream life. Even if I don't have it, I experience through meditation. This meditation uses the power of your mind to create a refuge within yourself, a safe, peaceful place where you can rest and just imagine anything. There's also loving kind meditation, or more known as metta. This practice is directed to your heart. You send goodwill to yourself or to someone you love, to a stranger, to anybody, even an enemy, even a person that you're having trouble with. But not to fix them, just to open yourself, to connect, to remember that you can be good and you can act with love towards anybody. Some practices use movement. For example, the so-called walking meditation, where you walk slowly and intentionally. Each step is a full experience, and you focus on this step to step, this walking, this movement, that you're condensed in that place. There's also mindful movement, like yoga, qigong, tai chi, where the body becomes the focus. Each motion is a meditation of itself. And then there's prayerful meditation, where stillness becomes a conversation, where not always you're dealing with words, but with the presence of something bigger, like God, or whatever you want to call for the sacred. You sit with your heart open, you listen, you speak softly, You look inside and you look outside. You talk directly to a higher being or a higher energy. It's a different kind of silence, one that feels alive inside of you. So all of these are meditations, practices. All of these are valid. All are beautiful in their own way. Some are structured, some are fluid, some are quiet, some are full of feeling and energy. But all of them are one thing. They invite you to return inward and explore yourself and get to know yourself better and feel secure. So I want to thank you for staying until the end of the video. If you stuck this far, it's because you liked the content and you were curious to see the end of it. I really appreciate that. If you felt supported by this content and you want to recognize my work, my job doing this video, please drop a like button. Also, if you resonate with this and you want to go into the YouTube channel and check my other content, and if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, because I'm going to be popping new videos in the future, new adventures, and you know you're gonna see something new. For now, I want to just tell you, don't forget to smell the flowers, and I'll see you on the flip side.